When you think about it, your success is the envy of everybody around you, but you're still walking around with this unspoken emptiness that success didn't solve. As someone who has helped countless men fix their inner worlds, I can tell you that the path to having it all often leads to the feeling of having nothing at all. So in this video, what I'm going to do is break down, why success has left you with this feeling of emptiness. And essentially it's because we've bought into a program. We bought into the program that once you become successful, all of your problems are solved. Once you have money, you won't have any problems anymore. You won't have any issues in your life. You'll be happy. You'll be joyful. You'll be respected. You'll be loved. Whatever it is, whatever the program is that you bought into, you made up this idea that if I become successful, then everything will be solved. And this is when you begin to really question, why you ended up chasing all of that success in the first place. And the wild thing about success or desire for success is that it's insatiable, meaning there's no amount of success that will ever make you feel like you need to stop. There's this constant drive for more and more and more. And this is what so many ambitious men experience. They get to some milestone and they don't even pause for a second to enjoy the accomplishment that they've achieved. And already they begin looking at the next milestone. And so they think, if it wasn't the $1 million in the bank that, made me feel the way I needed to feel, then maybe it's 10 million. If it wasn't the Mustang, it's the Corvette. If it wasn't a certain level of wealth and being in certain circles, then maybe it's the next level. Maybe that's the thing that's going to solve what it is that I'm feeling inside. But no matter what, without the conscious awareness that this cycle is continuing, you will remain in that cycle. And so the idea in this video is I want to help pull you out of this cycle by getting you to understand why you were chasing success in the first place. So somewhere along the way, you started believing that success was the answer to solving all of your problems. Now it's ingrained in society to become successful, of course. And so that's why it's a very easy program to buy into. It seemed like successful people had it all. And the ego, the little voice inside of our head, is obsessed with getting. And so naturally it wants to get more and more and more because it thinks by getting, it is going to solve for what is going on inside. But the reality is that we created this desire for success to protect us from some sort of feeling. And so you can identify what it is, the feeling that you're protecting yourself from. Then what you can do is you can turn off the wanting. And Naval Ravikant has this great line. He's like, we want to move into this place of not wanting anything. You're like, you don't want to step out of wanting. Hear me out. When you want something, you put up a natural block to actually getting it. And so what you're saying probably right now is like, yeah, well, I wanted these things and I got them. Yes, it will work until it doesn't, right? And so now what you're recognizing is a cycle of wanting is not solving for what you're trying to solve from within. And so where we want to move to is this place where we don't want anything. And it's this really freeing place. That's when you become completely free. When you no longer need that next level of wealth, that next circle, that next car, that next big house. When you can step outside of all of that, the wild thing is that it doesn't mean that you don't get it. In fact, it actually helps you move to a place of attraction. And this is true because it's like, if you ever had a girl or a guy that really liked you and really wanted you, naturally you didn't want them back. Or if you were chasing the person, you were constantly chasing the girl or the guy and they wanted nothing to do with you. And then you finally said, you know what, forget this person. That's when they came running. And this is what we're essentially doing with success and wealth by having this inner desire. What we're saying is that we are not good enough as we are. We need to go get something out there in order to feel some sort of way inside. And once we get there, we're going to solve for that. But every time we get there, we don't solve for anything. We still feel the exact same way. So the way to step out of wanting is to understand what the wanting is protecting us from feeling. And now I'm going to help you get there in the next part of this video. So the simple way to get to the root of why you want so much and how you are remaining in this endless cycle of just more, harder work, more money, more accomplishments, more letters behind your name. The reason that you have got into this cycle is because you believe that once you get to a certain level of wealth or accomplishment, you are going to feel some sort of way. And so I want you to ask yourself that question right now is whatever it is that you're chasing, everyone has something that they're chasing, right? And so I want you to ask, once you get that thing or to that level, how are you going to feel? And whatever your answer was, the opposite is true. For me, when I was chasing wealth, I thought wealth would bring me happiness. And so when I started to solve, I was doing this unconsciously. subconsciously. I didn't even realize I was doing it at the time. When I started to solve for why I wasn't happy, it was related to shame of not having enough as a kid, guilt that I was holding on to for past transgressions. All of these things were the reason that I didn't believe I was deserving of happiness. Once I started creating awareness around those things and allowing myself to heal and feel those things, then I started becoming happier. I started becoming my true self. And as a natural consequence of me becoming happier, wealth began to flow into my life. I had become the state that I was after. And because I had become that state, the thing that was associated with that state flowed into my life. And so a lot of people are chasing wealth because they want freedom, which is hilarious because the reason we don't have freedom is because we're chasing wealth. And so if we don't feel like we are free now, we have to begin asking ourselves, well, why not? What are the programs that we have bought into? What are the belief systems? One belief system was, in order to make money, you need to work hard, right? And so this is a belief system that you've bought into. Belief system, it is stealing your freedom. And so what was working hard protecting you from feeling? And if you can get to the root of that, it was protecting you from feeling maybe less than, maybe not good enough. For me as a kid, it was about the shame and the pain and the embarrassment of not having enough, living in kind of like a shitty house, driving shitty cars. And that was so embarrassing that my mind went to work to make sure that I would never re-experience that feeling ever again. And this is what I had to heal from so that I could step out of wanting. And when you step out of wanting, it doesn't mean that you don't get the thing that you're after. In fact, it allows it flow into your life effortlessly. And this is essentially what I help people both achieve, but at the same time, be completely okay if it never shows up. And so this is a very peaceful place to live your life. And that's essentially what my life has been about. It's about this combination, combining spiritual growth with entrepreneurship. I believe that entrepreneurship is like one of the greatest spiritual growth tactics that you can go through because it forces you, if you're willing to see it that way, it forces you to face all of your limitations and transcend them. And by you watching this video, one of the limitations that is holding you back from not getting the thing that you want, which you think is money. It's about how money or success is going to make you feel. That's what you're truly after. And if you can get to the root of what you're truly after and solve for why you're not feeling that way right now, entrepreneurship is a great tool to allow you to uncover those things that you need to face so that you can heal, so that you can live this life of peace. And most people are after freedom, peace, calm, stillness, relaxation. Like these are the things that people are actually after. And this is essentially what I'm doing. So if you're interested in learning more about the combination of entrepreneurship as a spiritual growth tool, if you're interested in wealth without burnout, if you're interested in building a purpose-driven empire, if you're interested in learning how to step out of force and step into flow because you've bought into a lie that life is supposed to be hard. But the reality is life is this amazing gift and we can all begin to flow. This is what I'm experiencing. I'm in an amazing state of flow throughout my life. Do I have challenges? Of course I do, right? But I see those challenges as gifts, as a tool for me to look within and undo what I'm still holding on to so that I can move towards my maximum potential. And this is a state that is available to us all. So if you're interested in all that, just click the link below. I'm building community. I don't even exactly know what I'm building yet at this time, but you can sign up to my email list. I'm releasing a free course soon. I'm also doing a one-day event at my business, Lungo Vita, that you can come to. So if this sounds like what it is that you want to get to the root of, click the link below and get connected to my community.